Welcome back to Plot Twist Street, where we unravel the most jaw-dropping turns Coronation Street has to offer. And for Carla Connor, the most recent festive season may go down as one of the darkest chapters of her life, which, in Weatherfield, is saying something. In truth, the entirety of 2025 was an emotional gauntlet for the factory boss. The year began with Carla clinging to life, critically ill and in desperate need of a kidney transplant after sepsis caused by a brain injury. Her only chance of survival came from the most complicated source imaginable, her criminal brother, Rob Donovan, but nothing in Carla Connor's world is ever simple. As if the transplant itself weren't enough, Carla was kidnapped twice during the process, a level of trauma that even seasoned Coronation Street viewers struggled to process. Yet by spring, a fragile sense of hope emerged. Carla's relationship with police officer Lisa Swain deepened, even as Lisa grappled with the devastating loss of her colleague, Craig Tinker. By summer, optimism was no longer fragile, it was tangible. Carla and Lisa bought a house together, got engaged, and seemed poised to finally claim the happiness so often denied them. But even in moments of joy, one shadow never truly lifted. Becky Swain. Becky's tragic death had defined Lisa and her daughter Betsy's lives for years. And just as Lisa appeared ready to release the past, Becky returned, very much alive. In the latter half of 2025, the relationship between Carla and Lisa unraveled with alarming speed, Becky firmly in control of the descent. Driven by an obsession to reclaim her family at any cost, Becky manipulated events with chilling precision, determined to push Carla out of the picture. After months of emotional endurance, Carla finally reached breaking point. Over a matter of days, Carla and Lisa endured a heartbreaking split, their love unmistakable even as it slipped through their fingers. Lisa chose what she believed was a clean break. Carla, shattered, left Weatherfield for Lanzarote to heal, or so everyone thought. Carla never reached Spain. There was no sand beneath her feet, no cocktail in hand, only restraints around her wrists and ankles, a gag in her mouth, and a cramped cupboard in a rundown Weatherfield flat. Becky had staged everything, stolen Carla's phone, posted fake holiday photos, and sent messages to Lisa suggesting Carla had walked away for good. Meanwhile, Carla was fighting for survival. Despite being held captive, Carla refused to give up. Forced at knife point to speak to Betsy on the phone, she deliberately invented a hotel name and room number, later revealed to be a carefully constructed three-word location clue. She even attempted a daring escape, using a shard from a broken plate to cut through her restraints. The attempt failed. Dragged back into the cupboard with a head injury, Carla faced an increasingly unhinged Becky. During her captivity, the truth finally surfaced. Carla had been dangerously close to confirming what she had long suspected. Becky was a corrupt police officer. Following cryptic clues muttered by Di Castello, Carla tracked down the flat in search of evidence, only to be caught red-handed by Becky herself. To protect her secrets, and her grip on Lisa and Betsy, Becky locked Carla away and continued manipulating Lisa from the shadows. Hope finally arrived in the form of Kit Green. Long suspicious of Carla's disappearance, Kit lacked proof, until the location clue cracked the case. He arrived at the flat too late. The cupboard was empty, the locks broken, and an abandoned blister pack of pills suggested Carla had recently been there. At the same time, Becky was elsewhere in Manchester, engaged in something deeply disturbing. Ropes, blood-stained fabric, and cleaning supplies found in the boot of her car painted a chilling picture. But the truth could no longer be buried. In tonight's episode, Sarah Platt experienced a stomach-dropping realization. When Lisa handed her Carla's engagement ring, Sarah recognized it instantly. In the supposedly candid beach photos, Carla was wearing the same ring, proof the images had been doctored. When Kit revealed Becky was not dead after all, the race was on. Returning to the flat, Kit discovered one of Carla's hairs inside the makeshift cell. Soon after, a tip-off led police to the location of Becky's car. At last, Carla's nightmare came to an end. For now, Carla is set to appear in the upcoming Coryell crossover episode, where Coronation Street and Emmerdale characters collide for the first time in history. Tragically, that meeting comes via a catastrophic head-on collision, triggering a multi-vehicle pileup that claims lives and reshapes countless futures. Carla is caught in the disaster, but actress Alison King has confirmed her survival. She admitted that upon reading the script, the very first thing she did was turn to the final page to ensure Carla was still alive, relieved to discover she wasn't even maimed. What comes next, however, remains uncertain. Will Carla decide Weatherfield holds too many painful memories to stay? Or will she once again rebuild, as she has done so many times before? Meanwhile, Becky's manipulation has gone beyond Carla. Convincing Lisa that reuniting as a family is the safest option, Becky persuades Lisa and Betsy to flee, believing Spain will offer refuge. As they drive toward Hull Ferry Port, planning to cross to Rotterdam, Carla finally makes contact. One phone call shatters Lisa's world, and in a split second of distraction, Becky loses control of the car. Another plot twist lies just around the corner, and Plot Twist Street will be there for every second. As Carla's ordeal draws to a close, Weatherfield braces itself for another explosion, this time with Carl Webster at its center. Once again, Carl has slipped through the cracks, even as his brother Kevin edges closer than ever to exposing the truth. Months of pressure have mounted, shady financial dealings, fractured loyalties, and an ever-growing list of people asking dangerous questions. Abby uncovered Carl's affair. Ryan Connor noticed irregular bank movements. The countdown to Carl's downfall felt inevitable. Then came what should have been the final blow. Kevin uncovered footage linking Carl to the car theft responsible for Tyrone Dobbs' hit and run. Choosing his moment carefully, Kevin waited for Debbie's wedding day, a room full of witnesses, no escape. Cracks began to form immediately. Abby discovered a stash of cash hidden in a car boot. Later, she spotted Carl checking a one-way flight to Germany. The message was clear. Carl wasn't planning to face justice. He was planning to disappear. Kevin watched Carl play the devoted brother, hovering over Tyrone with crutches and concern. To Kevin, it was nothing but guilt masquerading as kindness. When tensions finally snapped, Kevin threatened to expose the truth, only for Debbie to intervene. For her sake, the brothers set aside their resentment long enough to walk her down the aisle as she married Ronnie Bailey. But the peace didn't last. After the ceremony, Kevin made his intentions clear. Back on the cobbles, Abby dropped the final bombshell. Carl was leaving that very night. Germany. One-way ticket, no consequences. Kevin refused to let it happen. As wedding speeches began, Kevin arranged for a large screen to be set up. Addressing the room, he announced someone present needed to be held accountable. The incriminating footage was cued. Except Carl had moved first. Instead of evidence, the screen flickered to life with a video of Carl dancing joyfully with Jack. Laughter filled the room. Kevin froze, humiliated, furious. He accused Carl outright of putting Tyrone in hospital, but without proof, the claim collapsed. Carl denied everything. Kevin was escorted out in disgrace. Behind closed doors, Abby confronted Carl. She knew the truth. She knew he was running. The confrontation was explosive and final. Their relationship did not survive it. Carl wasn't finished yet. When Debbie confronted him about Tyrone's accident, Carl turned the tables, accusing her of betrayal for secretly contacting their estranged mother before her death. Once again, Carl deflected blame and dodged accountability. For now, he escaped. But the storm is far from over. In the upcoming Coryell crossover, Carl finds himself once again at the center of chaos, drunk, reckless, and spiraling. Behind the wheel, with Debbie beside him, Carl becomes a dangerous mix of guilt, anger, and denial. Whether this is the moment he finally pays for his actions, or drags others down with him, remains to be seen. One thing is certain. In Weatherfield, debts are always collected. And Carl Webster's bill is long overdue. That brings us to the end of today's story. With secrets unraveling, loyalties shattered, and danger closing in, the coming episodes promise seismic shockwaves through Weatherfield. The question is no longer if the truth will catch up with Carl Webster, but who will be caught in the fallout when it does. Coronation Street airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX. Don't miss a single twist. As always, this is Plot Twist Street. See you next time.